12 locks, one denominator, and a ledger barely opened. This is part 2 of the count, where the pattern climbs past 1 million and closes around the entire book. The machine never stopped counting. Deeper into the text it went, past single letters, into geometrical values, verse numbers, and totals no human bookkeeper could ever have carried. 4 letters, Alif Lām Mīm Rā, guard chapter 13 alone, 605, 480, 260, 137, totaling 1482, 19 times 78. Chapter 7 carries 4 initials, Alif Lām Mīm Sād, their counts sum to 5,320, 19 times 280, another chapter sealed by a single key. Watch the letter Sād closely, because its 97 occurrences complete chapter 7's total, while simultaneously completing the 3 chapter Sād total. The longest set of initials, 5 letters, opens chapter 19, the chapter of Mary, where the strongest miracle is narrated. The strongest mathematical lock stands guard over the text. Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sād, 137, 175, 343, 117, 26, 798 in total, 19 times 42. Around it sits an overlapping family, Taha, Tasin, Mim, the chapters of Moses, Jesus, and Solomon, totaling 1767, 19 times 93. Wherever the narrative carries uncommonly powerful miracles, the interlocking initials grow longer and more complex, stronger evidence standing guard over stronger claims. Now step back to the alphabet itself. 14 letters form the initials, and their ancient values plus their first chapters total 988, 19 times 52. Add instead the 29 initialed chapters and you reach 722, 19 times 19 times 2, while the full distribution map totals 2033, 19 times 107. Far beyond letters, beyond whole chapters, into combined totals that dwarf everything you have seen so far. Hold tight to that number 19. Multiply every initial's count by its ancient numerical value, chapter by chapter, and add everything together. The grand total exceeds 1 million and lands with absolute precision. 1,089,479, 19 times 57,341, and the slightest alteration anywhere in 29 chapters destroys it completely. Take every parameter at once. The chapters, the verses, the frequencies, the first and last suras, 44,232, 19 times 2,328. Count the verses carrying initials. Every chapter has 1 except 42, which has 2, and the total, 931, 19 times 49, requires exactly that anomaly. Add the chapter numbers, their verse counts, their initialed verses, and the values of their initials, 7,030, 19 times 370, the structure holding again. Now change the operation entirely and multiply chapters by verse counts instead of adding, 63,536, 19 times 3,344. The code survives its own rules, changing. Number every verse of every initial chapter, 1 to the end, and add them all, 190,133, 19 times 10,007. Run a cumulative sum down all 114 chapters. The initialed values total 15,675 and the uninitialed 237,785. Both totals are perfect multiples of 19, the initialed half and the uninitialed half of the book, independently sealed by the same denominator, with nothing left outside the system. Over the whole structure, one word stands guard, God. It occurs 2,698 times, 19 times 142, and its verse numbers sum to another multiple. Inside, the Iftar 7, their chapter and verse numbers, another multiple. The span of every chapter carrying the word, another. The message is one sentence long. There is only one God. The word one refers to God exactly 19 times, and the ancient value of the word one is 19. Across chapters of thousands of words, and changing one letter, anywhere, collapses multiple interlocking totals at once. Now place the author in the 7th century. No printing press, no index, no possible way to count 4,502 alifs while composing aloud across 23 years. The researchers who verified these counts were college graduates working in teams with computers, and they still made errors. The man accused of authorship could not even read. 1,400 years ago, the book said the letters were proofs, and for 1,400 years that sentence was a riddle. It was never a riddle, it was a receipt. One question remains, why numbers? Why would a message meant for every generation choose arithmetic as its signature instead of poetry, prophecy, or the eloquence of its own language? Because human language is local, born in one place, dying in another, shifting with every generation, demanding translation, and every translation is an argument. Words are at the mercy of words. Number is not. A prime is prime in every tongue, including tongues not yet invented. 19 was prime before anyone could say it, and will remain prime after us. Mathematics requires no translation, does not decay, and cannot be corrupted, because we did not build it. We walked into it, took notes, and called those notes discovery. A scripture signed in that language steps out of the disputable and into the absolute. The world has waited 14 centuries for this proof, and now it has arrived. This is not a book that asks to be believed. It is a book that asks to be counted. And Alif Lām Mīm is no longer a riddle, but a signature. The candle goes out, the volume closes, and the letters keep their vigil on the first page, waiting, as they always have, for anyone willing to simply count. Every figure in this film is verifiable in the original Arabic text, letter by letter, chapter by chapter. Do not take our word for anything. Count it yourself.